Oh, there we go. Now we got it sussed out. What is up, guys? Welcome back to another day out on the water. So you join us here for day one of our 7-day fishing adventure up to Scotland. We're visiting what are arguably some of the best stocked small stillwater trout fisheries up here. And today we're at our first destination, Kinross. We just arrived and the lake looks fantastic. There's 4 different lakes here, 1 bait pond and 3 fly lakes. The lake itself, we've got an easterly today, and that's going to make fishing a little bit hard, but we're up for a bit of a challenge. So Jeremy's got 3 rods, I've got 3 rods. Let's talk about the methods that we're going to adopt.
Right, it's a cold wind, bright sunshine, so my 3 rods today are going to be, I'll still go with a Vision Onky 5 weight with a single dry, because there's still some fish rising, even though it's cold and bright sunshine. My second rod will be still Maniac 6 weight with 2 spiders and a nymph on a point, and that's just for twiddling just underneath, just in case the dries are not taken. On my third rod will be a washing line with a 40 plus slow grass and a booby on a point and 2 nymphs, 2 vicars, red holographic and a silver. A new kind of light, something to break this divide. We feel no weapons. Right, we've come off the dries now. We've tried them for 10 minutes. Nothing really taking interest in there, even though there are fish rising. So we've changed to the 2 spiders and the nymph. You can vary the retrieve, a couple of strips, figure of 8 in, even dead slow. Just keep mixing it up. Always hang your flies as well. And hopefully we can get the fish to either take on the drop or take it as it's lifting off. And we're into fish almost straight away. First fish for the day on spiders or nymphs. Ah, going well. Yeah. She's down to the back end, just not mine. Oops. Oh, that's a bonny looking fish. Cracking tail on him. Got a really nice tail. Nymph. A little green olive nymph. And there he goes back. Nice little start, 3-4 pounder.
Right then, off we get started. So, got a wind blowing down. It's high pressure today, it's an easterly, that means fishing is generally going to be quite tough. Now the water in front of me is quite clear, it's probably about 5-6 foot deep there, so my gut instinct is saying put on 3 buzzers straight lined and see what happens. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm already going to go to degreasing the leader. Even though I'm fishing 3 buzzers, with how bright that sun is, I want those flies to come across as drab as possible. Won't need much. And run it up the main body of the line. When we first got here, there was no wind and it was flat calm. And there were a couple of fish head and tailing in this area. But that wind definitely appears to have put an end to the rise for the time being. But what we'll do is now we'll just fish these buzzers, try and swing them round in this little corner here for the next 10-15 minutes. Trying to fish them just straight lined, dead static as possible. And if we don't get any indications or anything, then we'll switch to something else. Switch to the washing line. We gave the buzzers about 10 minutes without anything. Next protocol now will be the washing line on a mid-strip. And if that doesn't work within 10 minutes, then we move. There's so much water here at Kinross, which is great to see. But with there being so much water and not knowing the fishery that well, part of a job when you first visit a fishery is basically just cover water, because you could be fishing the right method, just in the wrong part of the lake effectively. We'll find out now. Check this out. Give it 10 minutes and see if we can make anything happen. So as a reminder, this setup is basically a dowel, a hare's ear and a biscuit fab. Oh, there we go, first fish. Taking the dowel. There he goes. The dowel quite high in the water there as well. He's going around the lake a bit. Going up and down, up and down. There you go.
Yeah.
There we go, we're getting back now.
Oh, second one. Off the top. That's a good fight, this one again. 2-3 pound, I think. Massive, going well. Going well. Full tail. A strong fighting fish. That's the third fish of the day. On the nymph. Well, one on the spider, it's really high in the water. Top 6 inches guaranteed. And strip in it. Slow figure of 8 in it. They're all coming well. They're all coming well. There's a lot of, it seems to be a lot of fish by here. A lot of feeding fish if they're high in the water as well. We've got a depth of 25 feet. You know, they're in the top foot, probably cruising. But they're shooting up and they're nailing the fly. And they're strong fighting fish. They really are. We'll get him back. Get him out the net and get him back.
Right then, it's turning out to be a very, very hard day. There's definitely plenty of fish in the lake. What's happening is this easterly bright sun. It is making the fishing a lot more difficult, but we will persist on. I'm in a deep hole in front of me here, so I'm gonna fish buzzers straight lined and see if we can make anything happen. There we go. There we go. It was a while, but we got there in the end.
It's only £25, man. It's only 25 quid, you take it.
So we've got a wager on for this week. £25 for the biggest fish, and also £25 for the most fish. And at the moment, I think Jeremy's winning both of those. And there you go. It's taken us a good few hours to get to this point. But there's fish number 2, taking on a small little olive nymph. And we'll get him back. Oh, there we go. Now we've got it sussed out. Now we've got it, I think. Yeah, potentially. You better watch your lead.
No, I was only joking, man.
Here you go. There you go. Yeah, that's 2 fish in 2 casts. I haven't had a bite for about 2.5 hours. So maybe we found a corner of the lake where there's a few fish holding and they're willing to take this method. All we're doing is fishing straight lined, 2 buzzers and then a little beaded nymph on the point. Now the reason I've gone to a beaded nymph is because this water here is very, very deep. I mean, if I step off of here, it's probably 10 foot straight away, and it keeps going down. And I think the fishery manager said it's probably about 30, 40, even 50 foot deep in some part of this lake. So what's probably happening is, because we've got an easterly, those fish have just gone straight down. There's nothing moving on the top, and it's a lovely day, nice warm sunny day. There is a hatch on, but these fish just don't want to come up. And that can happen. That can happen with an easterly sometimes. So it pays dividends going down after them. So we'll get this fish out and back into the water. Ooh, that's a better fish. Either he's pretty big, or he's just an old fish. Which of the 2, I'm not sure. There you go. Oh, now I feel a bit better. Now it feels like things are starting to come together a bit more. And there you go, look. Same fly again, that olive nymph. Must be the colour, must be spot on for what's hatching in the lake itself. Right then, so I've just seen come into this side of the lake, bright sun at the moment, but there's a couple of fish just cruising the margins, and they're obviously old fish, been here a while, will only be zoned into feeding on natural habits or natural patterns. So what I'm going to set up with is, I've put down one of my 7-weight rods and I've picked up a 5-weight rod. New Haley floater, and then I've got about 8 foot of 5-pound leader to my dry. And my dry is on a dropper, and it's basically just a Hesier CDC, nothing special. It's a bit big, but the whole point here is that I'm just trying to see whether a fish will take a big dry fly, and if it doesn't, the dry fly will act basically like a bit like New Zealand style, like an indicator. If the fish takes the nymph I got below it, and what I've got below it is a very, very, very small, size 18 olive quill nymph, effectively. It's only fishing at about best part of a foot, and all I'm trying to do is when the fly lands in the water, I either spark the fish's interest to come up and take the dry fly. If it doesn't want the dry fly, it'll turn away and it'll see the nymph hanging below. And that nymph looks really natural in the water. It looks like probably the natural food source that's in this lake, and that will generate hopefully a fish. So let's go out here now and give it a try. There you go. Knew it would work. Knew it would work. Knew we'd get one. There you go. There you go. Right then, so there we go. We just prove a point that when you've got fish feeding really high or cruising really high in the water and shallow, and they look like old fish, sometimes just fishing New Zealand style or a dry suspended on from a dropper with a small lightweighted nymph or lightweighted buzzer, really shallow, like, you know, a foot max that was, I think, can pay dividends. That took us about 5 fish in the space of an hour. So take from that what you will, effectively. We'll give this another hour or so fishing again, and then I think we'll call it a day here.
Well, Rhys has gone on to nymphs and seems pretty successful. So we've gone back to the morning setup of 2 spiders and a beaded nymph on the point, and it's not long before we start catching again.
Right then, that's the end of day one. It's been a good old day. We've had a bit of drama with one of the cameras not working, and that's taken up a good few hours of my time, but thankfully someone's come to the aid. So overall, Kinross, lovely looking place, lovely looking fishery. Water's gin clear here. There's a big abundance of different types of fish here. It was a hard morning, to be fair. Easterly wind made the fishing quite difficult, but we found pods of fish sitting in corners of lakes, effectively. And once we dialed it in, going really small with really small nymphs on really light line, we managed to get some consistency going. So that's the end of day one. If you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing, and we will see you for day 2.